years and years ago, I've mentioned a million times, I broke up with somebody, it was devastating, blah, blah, blah. And at one point, one of the things I did for healing, I'd never done this, was I decided to take a road trip by myself. I had a friend who invited me to Idaho, and that seemed like a mystical journey to drive from Denver to Idaho by myself. That seemed like a mystical undertaking. And I thought, okay, I'll do the Course in Miracles. I'll put the Course in Miracles lesson on my dashboard, that I'm loved and I'm safe. And, and it was an amazing experience. It was really cool. It was really cool, by the way. I really followed this inner voice. And by the way, one of the things that was most painful to me about the breakup I was talking about was one of our life dreams at the time was that we were going to join together and teach and go on the road and travel and teach in different places, whatever. So some of the pain of losing him was not only losing him, but losing that dream, right? Like, oh my God, there goes my dream, right? And so I went by myself to Idaho, and my friend spontaneously set up a workshop for me. I'd never taught a workshop outside of Colorado. It was in Idaho. It was in the most beautiful place. Someplace person had a glass house like in the middle of the woods. It was gorgeous. And like it all came together, and people asked me to teach again, and I'd never done that. And it felt like a healing from spirit, right? It was a healing from spirit of saying, I've got you. I've got you. If you continue to listen to this voice, I've got you. So I came home, and I had secretly, earlier in the year, I'd heard about this miracles conference thing or something that I'd wanted to go to. But then when I looked at the brochure when I got home, I realized, oh my God, it was like a few days after I had just gotten home from this road trip. And so my logical, rational mind said, well, you can't do that. You've just spent this money and this time, going on some road trip. You're not going to go away again to a conference now for another week that you can't afford, and blah, blah, blah. And my rational mind was saying, no way. But my heart kept saying, I want to go to that thing. I don't know. It feels good. And then I had a friend out of nowhere call and say, are you going? Because I'll drive you if you want. So that was like the clincher for me of, I'll drive you. And then I called them and they gave me some kind of deal or whatever. So anyway, I showed up at that conference and I met this guy there. His name is Paul. And so I met him the first day that I got there. By the way, Paul's side of the story was going to the conference. He wasn't going to go to that conference either. And he was going to drive across the country to a friend. And I don't remember, like Paul being Paul wanted to help out a friend who was going to this conference. And so he decided to go, and he realized he was lonely. And that very day, he pulled aside before he got to the conference and sat in some field and meditated and just decided to open his heart to God and say, you know what, I think I'm ready for a relationship. I think I'm ready. Because he'd been getting sober and blah, blah, blah. And little did he know, he walked into the conference and I assaulted him. But like, oh my God, spiritual guy, I'm in. But anyway, my point in all of this, I thought about it. There were a million times I was going to say no to going to that conference. I'd just gotten back. I mean, who the hell? I was making no money at this time. It was ridiculous. It was totally irrational to go to this thing. It was Angel Fire, New Mexico. Paul and I were joking around. We met an Angel Fire, because he's the angel and I'm the fire. But anyways, I look back and think, had I not listened to that inner voice that believed in me and loved me and said, I think I can give you 2 trips. I think I can let you go on 2 trips. I think you can have even more than you think. If I'd said no, and I'd been rational and I'd been smart about it, but by the way, the reason I wasn't was because my heart was broken and because I was in pain and I was open. And pain makes you open. And I thought, what the hell? What kind of life do I have anyway? Who cares if I'm further behind in life? Who cares at this point? But again, I'm always amazed because when I track back my own life, or I do this with my clients, when we track back things, it's always amazing when you say yes to your spirit, when you say yes to your love, something opens up. You have no idea what you're missing sometimes by saying no. I mean, seriously, like I think about that conference, had I said no, I have no idea where else we could have met. He's a complete introvert, he's not ever going to be joining anything, he was only helping somebody out, and so So again, I'm just going to invite you to think about you are the light of the world and you're being guided at all times, every minute, 24/7. So let's open up to that.